There's been panic and chaos in Belgrade, Russia's. It started yesterday, May 22nd, 2023. A group of armed people, supposedly and independent Russians, formed a group fighting on the Ukrainian side, invaded Russia, the city of Belgorod and the region around Belgrade. They did it openly, without any hiding, in plain sight, in broad daylight. At noon, around 100 fighters, the number is unconfirmed, but there were quite a few armed vehicles and even 2 tanks. Heavy bombings, gunfights, missiles flying and so forth. There were explosions in Belgorod following night, all night long. There was an explosion at KGB building. Fighting is still going on in some places, and this is May 23rd, late at night in Russia. At least it is what is being reported by the locals. The reports are that 9 people have been seriously injured. There have been a couple people, 1 civilian person killed. Russians are saying that person was killed by the extremists, and who knows. So basically, all in all, this havoc, big mass news about it all over the world. It's a big deal. Everyone knows the word Belgorod now, right? Well, now let's see what Russia Today, RT, came out today with. It completely different story. I was, a little surprised. I think it's a little understatement, but I quote, "The Russian military created a trap for Ukrainian saboteurs in the Graivoranovsky district in the Belgorod region in order to eliminate them there. There are no hostages. Evacuation has been not announced officially. Local residents decide to leave themselves. It's their choice. Everything is under control." So, all that stuff in Belgorod has simply been a plan, a sly Kremlin's plan, a trap. Everything is going according to Putin's plan. Ladies and gentlemen, the defense rests its case, and I want to talk more about Belgorod today. Howdy everyone, my name is Konstantin, welcome to Inside Russia, where I give you important news updates that explain what's really happening inside Russia. What you will not find on this channel is BS, lies, and propaganda. What you will find, truth, common sense, and logic, and emotions, because I am a human being. Inside Russia is where usual Russia is explained by the unusual Russian. For the first 30 or so minutes, I give you a daily message that I find important. Then I invite everyone to join live stream chat where we converse and I answer questions. I'd love that very much. Folks, thank you so much for coming today, giving me a chance to deliver something I find important, and it is important. We're going to talk about things that started happening in Russia. I can't say invasion, but I can't even say that a raid, a small raid, because it's not. It's something in between. Anyway, the word Belgorod is now known all over the world. All major news outlets have been reporting Belgorod, Belgorod, Belgorod everywhere. And I would like to speak about that. I'd like to give you my view of what has been happening in Belgorod. Again, it has not ended. It's still going on. Despite what Russian propaganda is saying, Russian propaganda has been split. One part is saying, oh, nothing to worry, let's move on. And another part is saying, hey, wait a second. It's still going on. So They're undecided, so to speak. But I was thinking quite a bit today, how should I deliver my stream today? What I should talk about? And you know what? I can simply tell you, like list what happened in Belgorod, but most likely you know it from different news outlets. Okay, I'd like to give you a couple unique points, okay, that you won't find anywhere else. And I would like to point your focus to one thing. See, when a big bad event happens unexpectedly in Russia, 2 days after, 48 hours after such event, any event, they are absolutely crucial because they show the truth. The truth is very rare in Russia these days, you know that, and it's suppressed and banned by the government from public domain. So it's really hard to find truth. Yet, when something bad, unexpected happens 48 hours after this such unexpected event, make sure you understand the event must be unexpected. The truth comes out for a short time. This happens for one simple reason, okay? Propaganda is a part of Russian government machine, and it is slow to react. When something happens, propaganda people await for orders on how to present such event, at what angle, so to speak. Such decisions are made at the very top by very few people, and it takes quite some time for them to assess the situation and actually make decisions on how to present it to Russia, to come up with a strategy of making the effects of such event minimal. Okay, the bad, not the events, the results of such event minimal. So it takes them a day or so, and then it takes another day or so to inform propaganda people from the very top to the very bottom, because propaganda is also very hierarchical. Okay, they send from the very top to the bottom all the decisions. They give instructions. You know, they come up with lies and so and things like that. So, and for first 48 hours are so precious because for the very short 48 hours, people start talking and sharing things online, and they speak of what they see, what they feel, and nothing of that is censored, at least for 48 hours. So, yesterday, a very strange thing started happening. Russian propaganda got silent. It got all quiet, and that is a good sign something was going on. And immediately there were started rumors appearing and going around Telegram channels about something happening in Belgorod or Belgorod region. Okay, and I didn't know back then, yesterday. I know now, and I will try to answer three main questions. First things first. Who, what, and why, and then some questions, but smaller ones. So first, who did this? There are two groups of fighters. One group is called Russian Volunteer Battalion, and the second is Legion Free Russia. At least these organizations, these groups claim the responsibility for this event. Ukrainian armed forces have said that they had nothing to do with this raid/invasion, mini invasion. And the Russians, the propaganda, the government officials have said that it was, of course, Ukrainian armed forces. But who in the right mind in the world would trust Russian government officials? I haven't seen people like that. Well, I actually have seen in Russia, but How did they do it? Question number 2. I'm going to give you the breakdown. So, from 6 a.m. to 11 a.m. yesterday on May 22nd, there was a massive shelling of the city of Graivoron. It's a small city or town right on the border, near the border between Kharkov and Belgorod. I actually have been to the place. I traveled to Kharkov many times and I walked the border by foot. I crossed the border. I walked from Kharkov, from Ukrainian side, to the Russian side, and then there were tons of taxi cabs out there. Just, I would be let into Russia. I would step out from the special passport zone, and then there would be tons of cabbies waiting, and I'd just make a deal, and they would take me to Belgorod through Graivoron. So anyway, at 11:30 a.m., the tanks fired at Graivoron border checkpoint, because there's a checkpoint from the Ukrainian side. And then the tank unit returned to Ukraine at 11:40, 10 minutes later. From the Ukrainian side, a military unit from the Ukrainian side, a Hurricane missile was fired onto a military unit in the town of Belgorod 22. As a result, 2 servicemen were killed and 4 others were injured. This has not been confirmed by the Russian army, but that's what the common knowledge is right now. At 12 noon, broad daylight, the shelling of the village of Kozinka began. About 60 of 120 millimeter caliber mines and the same number of missiles from the Hurricane units were fired at it. Then 10 armored vehicles and infantry entered Russia at that point. Again, that is noon. That's not in the middle of a night. It's noon. Unexpectedly entered. At 1:30 p.m., a meeting of the operational headquarters of the region of the Russian army was held, at which the Edelweiss plan was put into effect. At that time, units of the Ministry of Defense and the Russian Guard blocked the village of Kozinka and Glotovo. Basically, they woke up and they started coming up with some kind of a plan to counter what had happened. To me, that sounds crazy. To me, it sounds like they don't have counter intelligence whatsoever. To me, it seems like they don't have recognizance, nothing. So they were caught by surprise. Anyway, 4:30 p.m., as a result of shelling from Ukrainian side, the building of Graivoron administration was destroyed. The 2 people were injured, and among them was a deputy head of the administration. At 7:15 p.m., the attackers were forced out of the village Glotovo to the Kozinka area. Then darkness came, and then there was a mess all night long. Buildings in Belgorod were on fire all night. Latest I checked was past midnight, was around 1 a.m. and there was an explosion in the center of Belgorod. KGB building was on fire. People were filming. Again, it's not confirmed. That's what I saw from Telegram channels. But I mean, you see these things. You believe in them. There were numerous reports of people fleeing using their cars. There were tons of videos flooding internet, Telegram, showing people freaking out and cursing the governor of Belgorod region and the high command of Russia, and saying how we have bombs blowing up here, and then they were rushing into basements, things like that. So basically, if you were looking at the situation yesterday at night, you could see chaos. Some people were saying, hey, in Belgorod, hey, we're not panicking. We're used to it. We've seen that for the past 6 months. Explosions, bombings and everything else. So there were opinions like that also. Then reports from the Ministry of Defense and from the official news started coming out this morning. And basically, two kinds of news. First, so many extremists slash terrorists, that's how those people, attackers called in Russia, were killed, eliminated, neutralized. I've seen different numbers, 39, 80, and at this point they have not told us how many attackers were. Okay, so there was one kind of news saying all neutralized, all is well. Second kind of news, and many news coming from the Belgorod region itself, they were saying still going on. The fighting is still going on, Russian troops were still trying to encircle, liquidate, and basically at this point, as far as I understand, confirmed by the Belgorod administration, the thing is not over yet. So this in briefly what happened in Belgorod and what keeps on happening. Why the attackers did it? Actually, there are two reasons. At least I see two reasons. To me, first is that is huge information attack. A small invasion, a small raid, but what a huge event and what a cosmic scale effect. Not just a raid, but invasion with armored vehicles and tanks into the territory of Russia. The entire world is speaking of what's happened in Belgorod, okay? And entire Russia is speaking of what's happened in Belgorod. And you know what? The Russian government is being so stupid, it's fueling rumors because it does not say directly what happened, it just gives hints. Oh, 39 terrorists were killed. Oh, everything is well now. Oh, fighting is still going on, but that's just a little tiny fighting, this tiny little men fighting with each other, something like that. So people are getting this information and they are freaking out. And I would be if I was living in Russia. So informational attack is hugely successful. And then the reason number two, this is clearly a part of counteroffensive that Ukraine has started to conduct. There are numerous goals. First, to wreak havoc inside enemy's lines, behind enemy's lines. Second, to spread defense of the enemy, so to thin it out, because enemy, starts, when you attack, enemy starts to counterattack, so to speak, to defend, and the units are moved from the usual placements into the areas where they need to stop the attackers, okay? And I think the most important thing is Ukrainians are in the driver's seat right now. They are commanding of what Russian army does, because you do something, it's like playing chess, right? You obviously, your opponent does a thing that you expect him to do most likely. And this is what Ukrainians have done. They have made Russians play by their rules. They are in the driver's seat. I personally don't understand how stupid Russian command of the Russian troops, Russian armed forces must be, not to foresee something like that, not to have recognizance, intelligence. This is a joke, my friends. That's at least how I see it. Now, think about this. If a small group of fighters with few vehicles, armored vehicles, and just two tanks, could invade Russia and wreak havoc behind the front lines, just imagine what the reinforced and trained Ukrainian troops, Ukrainian army, armed forces will be doing soon. Holy moly. Now, It's pretty clear what happened, right? But now let's talk about how propaganda reacted to this thing. And you will not hear it anywhere. What happened in Belgorod yesterday is a perfect example of 48-hour propaganda free rule. Let's talk about that in detail a little bit. First of all, yesterday there was silence all day. Shelling began in the morning, heavy shelling, not like your usual shots, and that's it. Heavy shelling began 6 in the morning. Yet all propaganda channels, and there are plenty, there's TV, there's radio, there's Telegram channels, WhatsApp groups, they were unusually quiet. I'd say silent. Just that, again, like I said before, just that is a huge, huge sign that something is not going right. Okay? Around 3 or 4 p.m., propaganda number one person, Simonyan, came out with a message and went something like that. Hey, if you don't know what's happening in Belgorod, keep quiet and do not spread fakes. Something like that. Everything is everything is fine in Belgorod. Everything is under control. Unfortunately, I cannot find this message now. It's gone. Okay, I wish I print screened it, copied it, made a print screen or something like that. So unfortunately, I don't have it, but I saw it appear, and it was like a huge red flag for me. I was like, okay, now something really, really interesting happening there. And then, there was a vacuum on all propaganda channels until around 7 or 8 p.m., something like that, when all Telegram channels, all internet exploded all at once. I mean, it was quite something else. I'm subscribed to quite a few channels, and the messages came at the same time, and they were pretty much the same message. Huge exclamation sign, red one, saying the counter terrorist special situation mode enacted in Belgorod province. Russian troops are fighting off Ukrainian extremists. That's pretty much it. So official media started, like they had been waiting, and all of a sudden, boom. So they started flooding the information with this one message and nothing else. Silence, silence, silence. But vacuum cannot exist in the universe. If there's vacuum somewhere, it sucks in air from all directions. Everything gets inside the vacuum. And this is exactly what happened with the information yesterday, and that's what happens as usual. So I started looking, when I saw silence in the official propaganda, I started looking at people's channels, Instagrams, Facebooks, Oh boy. So much interesting stuff started coming out, and people, regular folks, were the sources. Regular folks making videos of what was going on around them and sharing them in the internet. Boy, they were cursing Russia's rulers and the governor of Belgorod. They were panicking, trying to open the door, jump into the basements, fleeing, driving out of the area in the cars in absolute panic. They were filming, rockets launched. They were filming choppers flying back and forth, and I was far from situation being everything under control. So same thing continued, and also not just people, but there are some local news channels exist, and they are not a subject of propaganda because they don't usually, they're non-political. Okay, they talk about what happens in the area. For example, in the city of Belgorod, the current news happening, there's car accident or traffic jams or things like that. So they started showing like videos of explosions, and commenting like KGB building exploded. There's explosion there. There are rockets there, and it was happening all night long. Okay, so I woke up this morning thinking, Russian government cannot ignore this. What does usually Russian government do in a situation like that? Well, two things. It does something, and most likely, well, not most usually, it whatever it doesn't do well, not very professionally. And number two, it does nothing. It ignores like nothing happened. And you know what has happened today? The second. They have been ignoring, not like nothing extraordinary happened. They acknowledged that there was some kind of a raid, a breakthrough to into Russian territory, and they were around. I've heard 80, and I've heard 100 people altogether. I heard 10 armored vehicles, 2 tanks. And then basically there were casual reports. 39 extremists, Ukrainian extremists killed. Everything is under control. Russian troops controlling the area. And then I heard 80 Ukrainian extremists were killed. All under control. Russian troops controlling the area. The thing is, they did not give us any evidence. They just said, we killed 80 enemies. I mean, who trusts the Russian government now? Okay. It has impeccable reputation, right? And then RT came with a fantastic piece. Like I said in the beginning, they said, it was a slide trap by the Kremlin to lure terrorists into Russian territory and eliminate them. Folks, I saw that. I started laughing and I started thinking, what kind of sick person would come up with the lamest information like that? I don't know what to tell you. The defense rests its case, So, Russia today outdid itself. But everything else, all other official news outlets, very little information about what happened and still happening, and let's move on. Life as usual. It happened in Belgorod. Well, things happen, Let's continue. Weather in Moscow is nice, St. Petersburg Economic Forum is coming. This and that. And they basically acting like nothing major has happened. Something major has happened. For the last 15 months, the Russians have heard nothing of but the victories. Victories, victories, victories. The victory happened near Kiev last March when Russian troops withdrew. The victory happened in Kharkov last September. Then Russian troops withdrew very fast. The victory happened in Kherson, when Russian troops withdrew. The victory happened in Bakhmut 4 times. Over the last 15 months, we were told that the victory happened in Bakhmut. We were told 4 times, okay? There were other numerous smaller victories. Russian troops, Russian government has been victorious, of course. Everything, is under control according to the plan. And now we are having another victory. This time, this victory is happening on the Russian territory in Belgorod. And that means one thing, my friends. If you think about it, if you really dig deep, if you start analyzing, critically thinking, if you use artificial intelligence, it just will give you one result. Everything, all, is going according to Putin's plan. And Russia, all Russians, has just started shivering for the very first time. This is the plan. Now, they're not just hearing about that, they started feeling it. No worries, everything is going according to Putin's plan. Thank you so very much. This has been my message for today, and I would love you to go carry on. I would love you to carry on to the live stream chat, and I promise I'll try to answer all the questions. Usually there are more questions than time to answer them, but I'll do my best. Thank you so very much. If before I turn on the live stream chat, I ask you to help spread my message by making reposts on your social media accounts. That really helps. And subscribing to my Telegram channel called Inside Konstantin's Russia, where I make announcements of the streams upcoming and gives different information. And if you want to buy me coffee, that'd be very nice and very appreciated. Thank you so very much. I am turning on the live stream chat right now. Let me just open it in a new window. That really helps me to react quicker. Again, this situation is ongoing, so it hasn't been the end. At least that's what they're reporting from Belgorod region. And in Moscow, everything's ended, cleaned out, nice. And things, we're moving on. Mommy and Lorna, number one as usual. Howdy, friends. Thank you, Black Cat. I think Black Cat is on the road today. Bob S., Harry, Amir. Howdy, friends. Thank you for coming back and watching my back again. And hello, usual suspects. Welcome to yet another live stream. Fantastic to see you here. If you want me to notice your question or comment easier, please put it in caps, put Inside Russia after @ sign so it jumps into my eyes and highlighted in large orange box. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Howdy. Rebecca 20 from Kentucky. Hello. And Mr. Kaliskin from Chicago, Scotland. And geography is the entire world as usual. A. Cohen, we do not know what columns or equipment Mr. Konashenkov destroyed in his reports, but the Russian Volunteer Corps has no losses. What can I say? I'm reading also, that the Russian government the Russian army has destroyed the medians, columns and all of that. The worst thing is some Russians at least, they're still buying it. Nation Demon, howdy. Thank you so much for coming. Sam K, hello. Aaron Feuser. Vilio Oscari, howdy. Florentina. Ben Stevens, good evening to you, Konstantin. I hope this is the beginning of the end for Putin so Russia can be free. Me too. Thank you. A+ Russian, Oля, howdy. It's been a while. Yes, it has been. Corillian, thank you so much for your support. Very appreciated. Orlando, Florida. Catherine Smith. Howdy, Central Florida. Ecoplasma, hello. Eddie, there's a question. Is it real that region Belgorod is a former territory from Ukraine? Do you think the region have a chance of People Republic of Belgorod? No and no. Um, Belgorod, to my knowledge, has never been a region of Ukraine, and historically. And then you see what happened in Belgorod. What has happened in Belgorod is not. It didn't happen from the within. It happened from outside. People, they're not protesting. They're not joining the attackers. They're fleeing. So there's not a chance for a People Republic of Belgorod. Tube Radio, howdy. Janice Burgess, Jeffrey S., Pamela J., Richard Burris, Ferrari Guy, Palm Tree Kate Burke, howdy howdy. Korskin Dom, Arturo Brito. As a former infantryman, I can only say that this incursion won't make a difference. Incursion. You mean a raid? I think it's making a huge difference already. Lots of people asking lots of questions. Like military wise, probably not. Information wise, oh, that's a huge difference. $86 in Orlando, Florida. You know what I'd really like to see right now? What's going on with Vladimir Putin right now? How is he following the situation? Is he making any decisions? What is he doing right now? Is he upset? Is it something he expected? Or totally caught by surprise? That'd be interesting to see. Crusader Damien, howdy howdy. Why do you think Russians won't even protect their own homes? Why do they run away? There's something we don't understand in the West. There's something I don't understand about the West. You definitely something you don't understand. How can Russians protect their own homes if an armed to Inying bunch of men come to their houses? How can they provide possibly? They don't have weapons. Remember, weapons are strictly illegal in Russia. They don't have anything to protect themselves with. What? To come out and stand in front of them and say, hey, this is my house, get the fudge off. I don't think that's a good idea. The bombs blowing up everywhere, there's explosions. How do you protect your home? I would protect my family before I protect my home. Okay, I would take my family and put it into a place very, very safe. That's my way of thinking. I hope I answered your question. RW, thank you for gifting 5 memberships to people. Thank you so much, my friend. Great to see you here. Dave Strains? Oh, you're so right. TikTok. The crocodile is coming. It's right here. Graham, 1971, Coventry, UK. Howdy, howdy. Thank you, Justeri. Team Wanderloo. Howdy. Tupac, West Side, Oregon. Did Russia really take Bakhmut? I don't know. I think it has completed the control of at least major area in Bakhmut. But there's no way for me to know. At least Ukrainians I trust Ukrainian side. I don't trust the Russian side. At least they're saying they have left Bakhmut. Ron, you will never return to your homeland. I think you're right about that. Traitor, well, are you a judge? There's one going to be judging me, and that definitely is not you. Tube Radio, just a funny thing I noticed a few streams. You will find no BS on this channel. By the folding on your polo, the boss logo changes sometimes to BS. Well, I'm sorry, you have to live with that. But I agree there's no BS on this channel. Well, thank you for that. Is Baghdad Bob's brother working in Moscow? Beats me. Jose Fernandez, howdy. Ferrari guy, not to be revanchist, but yeah, there's historical evidence Belgorod was once Ukraine. I've never heard of that. Newbie Gaming, I have seen some posts of people in Belgorod and Kursk with painted signs in support of these free Russian groups. How big you think the support is? I don't know. I have not seen any signs. I don't know whether those signs, if you've seen them, are fake or true. I don't have an opinion on that. Sam K, Russia Ganda. Russia Ganda, I don't know. You answer this question for us. Level 70, Igor Girkin said there are 2 more incursions. Well, I don't like the guy. He is definitely going to be held responsible for the crimes, but he speaks a lot of common sense lately. I listen to his channel. Kevin, not to the same degree, but Russian media sounds like the American reporters saying peaceful protests standing in front of the burning city. Well, again, I cannot comment on that. I have not seen American protests. I have not seen what American reporters said. So you do that for us. You compare. Brian Woods, thank you. Greetings from the Southern California. As always, thank you for our ears, eyes, and giving us the inside scoop on everything Russia. Thank you, Brian. Appreciate it. Glad that you come here all the time. Thank you. Lisa, aqua blue, my favorite color. My question is, why wouldn't it help Ukraine to do this? They don't want to piss off the West. Why wouldn't it help Ukraine to do this? Well, now let's take a look. That's a good question. Let's take a look at this whole situation, right? There are armed men. They use American armored vehicles. They have 2 tanks. And they claim that they are independent Russians fighting on the side of Ukrainians. How independent can you be if you're fighting on the side of Ukrainians and if you have heavy armor? I mean, how you when you come from the Ukrainian side, how can you do that without synchronizing your actions? Reporting your actions, getting approval of your actions from the Ukrainian side. I don't think so. Hey, this is a war going on, right? So I don't think they were acting independently, and Ukrainian command didn't know anything about it. Of course, they knew everything. It's just they're keeping themselves aside, so to speak. That's it. Again, military-wise, this what happened in Belgorod is not much. The Ukrainians, the Russians, I don't know, well, there's groups. They did not hurt. They did not hurt much. They didn't do damage much in Belgorod. There are no strategic military bases that they destroyed, airports, but they created a huge dent information-wise. That's what I think they have done. Alfred Cooper, thank you so much. Be safe. Thank you for the accurate news. Thank you so much. I appreciate your support and thanks for the words. They are priceless. Timothy, thank you so much. Pinda the Peanut, did you know this motto of the Russian freedom fighters? It is the wrong for Ukrainians to fight for freedom on Russian territory. It is the duty of the Russians to fight to change power. I didn't know that. I don't know anything about these folks, Russian freedom fighters. This is the second time I heard about them. The first one was when they did a raid. A few people did a raid deep inside Russian territory and then returned to Ukrainian side. That's it. Kenneth, evening Cornwall from Lincolnshire. Howdy, howdy. Big Cat, the People's Republic of Belgrade was some top-notch trolling. Well, trolling, yes. But there's no way this People's Republic of Belgrade is happening. Rick, if Putin withdraws, wouldn't that be the end of Putin's power hold? Leaving him without to stay no matter what. Well, this is very obvious. I've been talking about that for past 14 months, right? Vladimir Putin has made a huge mistake. He started something, but he couldn't finish it. Now he's in a position of zugzwang. Every single move he makes places him into a worse position. And if he withdraws, it's not an option for him. There will be so many questions from everyone in Russia. And one biggest question will be, why the fudge did you do that for? You know, you went into Ukraine, you achieved nothing. There are hundreds of people have died, hundreds of thousands of people. The cities have been razed, and now the troops are back. And that's going to be the end of him, you know. So he's definitely not backing up. If I was him, I would be very afraid of his friends, close friends. Well, he is very afraid. He stays away from them. He speaks to everyone via TV. He's not a stupid guy, you know. He understands what's going on. Moises Hernandez, howdy. I don't know if it's true, but Google says that Belgorod was indeed a part of Ukraine for a short time in 1918. Wish you the best, thank you. Keep up good work. Belgorod was indeed a part of Ukraine. Again, thank you for information. I didn't know that. I've never heard of it. Well, check it out. If it was a part of Ukraine, must have been for a very short time. Folks, do you know that Iran was a part of Soviet Union for a very short time? I kid you not. Go and do research. Iran was part of Russia. Mark, if these groups are made up of ex-FSB officers and military, are they likely to a lot of info from the inside? I don't know. Do they have influence in Russia? I don't even know who these people are. I mean, I don't know whether they are made up or former officers, military. I don't know who they have insides with. No clue. Crusader Damien, what I meant to say, why are Russians running from Russian liberators? Also, if my city was attacked, I would get my family to safety and drag every weapon I have to stand and fight. I don't see that. And you will not see that. That is Russia. Okay. What kind of weapon do you have? What kind of a weapon you're gonna get and stand with and fight? Let's say I am in Moscow, Russia. The best weapon, the deadliest weapon, the strongest weapon I have is a kitchen knife. Damien, just take my word on that. Russians are not going to stand up and fight. Russians are going to evacuate. Okay, just like you saw in many numerous videos, you saw Russians were just fleeing for safety. It's out there. Just go and do research. Karen from Maine, just feeling a whole lot of love for every single person here today. Thank you so very much. Thank you, Karen. Fantastic to have you here, and please say hi to the wonderful state of Maine. Joe's Rames, Lukashenko apparently is well enough to go to Moscow, needing more money, no doubt. Well, if he comes to Moscow, that's for one reason. He always comes for money. That's true. Is he well enough? We're gonna see soon. Last 1207 just got a membership. That's great. Ferrari guy, there is a video of locals in Russia asking for weapons to defend their homes. So, would you please send a link to that video in my email? I'd like to see that. Koshkin Dom, thank you. Thank you. Well, okay, I've never heard of that before. Thanks for informing. Jason Connie, thank you so much for coming back and supporting in a big way. You are the champion of support of this channel. Thank you so very much for myself and my wife. Thank you. And you have just given a gift of sponsorship to 5 people. I appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Lorna says mention Trump or Biden and get the boot, and I second Lorna because we discuss it off streams with the mods, and this is my wish. I don't like to discuss American politics here. I'm not an expert, and there are different platforms for that. So please do not discuss Biden, Trump, or anything else. RW, thank you so much again. I am concerned by rumors that General Zaluzhny may have been killed. He's a key figure. Any insights on truth? Not much, not many insights here. I have heard couple news today, and not from Russian media. Russians, I think they said that he's been killed. There was a news in Lenta.ru, and I think one of the Ukrainians news channels said that he's been wounded. The wound is heavy. So that's, I don't know. I'm sorry. Harvey Sutcliffe, howdy again. Some tried to take Belgorod. That's inside Russia. That definitely is inside Russia, yeah. Newbie Gaming, thank you. During the early USSR, lots of oblasts changed hands between the larger republics. Did Yeltsin black market shut down or go underground in 2000s? Black markets? For what? During the early SSR, lots of oblasts changed hands between larger republics. Not to my knowledge. Please inform me of which ones, because I don't understand. I've never heard of that. Um, Black markets, did he shut down? If you're talking about like places where Russians used to buy and sell things, Yeltsin, one of the first things he did, he allowed people to sell and buy stuff anywhere they wanted to sell. You could sell off your car, you could sell in the middle of a street, you could put a little shop anywhere. No license was needed, no permission was needed. Russians rejoiced that nothing had seen anything like that in their lives. So the black markets were gone back then. I think it was early 1992 March, if I'm not mistaken. And that's what you if that's what you mean. I don't know anything else. Double X, these guys were very close to the nuclear munition storage in Belgorod, were they? Weren't they? First of all, just today I learned that there's allegedly nuclear ammunition storage in or near Belgorod. I had never heard of that before. I don't know whether it's true or not. It hasn't been confirmed. Just a rumor. And if they got close to some storage, I don't think that that was their intention. The intention was to enter Russia in the middle of a day, daylight, noon, and show everyone, look what we have just done, okay? And then, get out after a day or two. Linda, lots happened over the weekend. That's for sure. Eddie, Putin opened the box of Pandora. It's really hard to disagree with you. Alison Marlowe, thank you for letting me know. 4,000 people. Right now, about 3,900. 2 minutes to midnight. Thank you so much. Thank you. Arturo Brito, my Russian wife said once a Russian woman would starve to look good in a dress. Can I assume the worst of Putin? I don't understand. The first part, that's true. Lots of Russian women, they really take pride in how they look. But can you assume the worsts of Putin? I don't. I'm sorry. Belgorod became part of newly proclaimed Ukrainian People Republic February to May 1918. That's not a very long time. Okay, thank you for informing. Harry, thank you so much. KG1, Free Russian Legion operates under umbrella of Ukraine International Legion, a force that includes units including American British volunteers, as well as Belarusian, Georgian, and others. KG1, thank you for letting me know. I'll know now. Julie W, today totally off topic, but I like your shirt. The color suits you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. New shirt, that's a birthday present from one of the members of Russia's not Russia's, Tashkent Breakfast Club. Travis, thank you. I came in late, but when I heard this, I became worried. My fiance lives near Samara. Do you think it'll be safe over there? Well, first of all, I hope it'll be safe over there. I hope it'll be safe for your fiance. I hope it'll be safe for everyone. I pray for that every single day. Um, Samara is a long way um, from the border. But Ulyanovsk is not too far from Samara, and it was hit by drones. Um, I personally think she'll be safe, and as we can see, Ukrainians do not really target the civilians, regular Russians. And there's a question about Nation Demon. Did they shoot civilian housings? Well, I wasn't there. I didn't see it. Okay. Ukrainians have been saying, we are not to shoot people, we're not to shoot housing. Well, but this is the war. Okay. There are situations can be absolutely different. According to Attention News, Sobchak, not. I would love to believe that they do not do that. But that's besides you, my only source in this region. That's something I cannot give you information on because you have to witness it. You have to be there. I'm not there. Every time someone makes calls me a traitor, it really makes me feel good. Means I'm doing something right. Looks like mods are not working overtime. They are. They are working overtime. Trust me. They are focused, razor, laser type, laser focused, right? No. Favorite color aqua. Thank you. Jennifer, it takes a village. We must all work to free people around the world. Hey, it's hard to disagree with you. I am with you. Makes two of us. Let's work together. Nation Demon has the birthday be recently. So all the best and good luck. Strong health and peace on earth. It was at the end of April. So it's been a month. Bob S. I like the new blue collar. Thank you. Just Terry, mods always earn praise, not just today, but all the time. Famous Mainer, huge hands for Key and the Angels of Inside Russia. Tough topic on all sides since we aren't there and most rely on what we hear. Thank you. Stella from Cali, I appreciate your hard work and research on this channel. I've been watching since right after February 24th. Wow, thank you so much. Keep it up and hello to your beautiful family and love your shirt. Thank you, Stella. Thank you. Josh Judge, the Free Russia Legion have supporters that have destroyed Russian military train tracks and firebombed enlistment officers. They have the only Russian senators. They have the only Russian senator that voted against annexing Crimea. Okay, I think I know who you're talking about. Good call. Thank you for informing. Electric as Cake calls it. Thank you, Dave. I like white most of all. Jason Carney has given a membership of the channel to It's a Rome Thing Every Day. Thank you so very much. Northern Canada is in the house. Melvin, Michael, Michelle. I'm not sure how to say that. Sorry. English is my second language only. Karelian, they said in our media, Freedom of Russia Legion leader is an ex-Russian politician named Ilya Yashin. No. As far as I understand, Ilya Yashin is doing time right now, and he's definitely not the leader of Russian Legion. He's a colleague of Alexei Navalny. Jekyll N, thank you so much. You're back with a bang. Just arrived at work and will listen to your message later. Thank you so much. Fantastic to have you without super chats, with super chats, even greater. Thank you. Loose nukes in Belgorod? No, I don't think there are loose nukes in Belgorod. The Depressed Manatee, much love from Tennessee, USA. Keep up the great work. Thank you. You can count on me showing up every day and sharing my thoughts with you. Ryan Williams, even if one of these groups marched to the Red Square and occupied the Kremlin, what then? What's the vision of a new Russia that's forward-looking, not based on nostalgia? Oh, Ryan, you are at bullseye. You cannot make people happy. People must desire to make themselves happy. You cannot bring people democracy. People must grow high enough to desire and work for it, act for it. You cannot bring Russians a new country. It is up to the Russians to actually make the country new. Look what happened in the USSR. Many Russians, most Russians, did not do much. And look what happened 30 years after. I will not go deep inside into this thought, but I've been doing quite a bit of research. I want to make either a video or a dedicated stream on this topic. But you're spot on. If they march to the Kremlin right now, what's then? Nislo Yeltsin, thank you so very much. A very interesting name you have. I appreciate your support. Much, much appreciated and much needed these days. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Time's up, says the Nightbot. Give me 2 more minutes and we'll finish it up with a prayer. Terry Carter is having a birthday right now? No way. Looks like it's a song time. Terry, this one is for you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Terry. Happy birthday to you. I did the best I could. Happy birthday. Have many great returns of this day. And I wish you good health. I wish you having loved ones around you all the time. I wish you lots of money in your pocket. All the best. Happy birthday. Joao Marinos, thank you so much. Ole Nielsen, do you think the Ukrainians will stop at the Russian border or will they go further? I think they will stop. I don't think Ukrainians want to go further into Russia. They want their land back. And I'm pretty sure that's the case. Amanisha J, how is Alexei Navalny doing? He's not doing that great. He is in solitary confinement for the 16th time. They're definitely trying to hurt him. They're trying to. Basically, they want him dead. "53 is a wonderful age, Terry, you know. Cheryl Wetley, Ilya Ponomarev. Okay, that's different. That's not definitely not Yashin. Terry Carter. All right. Do you think Putin and his whole mess will be over this year? I have a feeling Putin will be for sure. Then what? Angie, I think that one way or another, things will be over this year. What's next? I cannot tell you. No one can. People just making predictions based on nothing. What I can do is to draw you a few scenarios of where Russia can go to, and I have done that before. You know, it can go to democracy, it can go to even a worse dictatorship, it can go into breaking it to pieces, and it can go to complete disaster. You know, so it depends on circumstances. When Russia chooses a path to go, then we'll talk about that. Uh, SC junk raids don't make on the ground changes. They do cause consternation. The British commander raids in World War II caused Germans to move forces to protect assets, and US did the Doolittle raid on Tokyo. And I think this is one of the ideas behind this raid, big raid, little invasion, whatever it is was. You know, Bridget Bordeaux, thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate your support. Fantastic. Thank you. Melvin, I learned English at school, um, at 3 schools: high school, Russian school, American school. Harald, welcome to Inside Russia. Thank you for supporting me, my friend. Thank you. Please join on Saturday for a private stream for members and patrons only. We discuss, it's much more relaxed stream, fewer people, and we discuss more personal things. So thank you for joining, and please welcome to the stream and welcome to the community. Kaltenberg. Is this Kaltenberg's birthday? Second song. Wow. 2 birthday stream. Taras Kulik. Thank you. I was gonna say Доброго ранку. Is this good morning? My Ukrainian is not that great, you know. I get a few words here and there from our Ukrainian friends here at Tashkent Breakfast Club, where we just meet basically every Sunday, and they come for breakfast sometimes, you know. So thank you so much. You in Ukraine right now, please let me know where you are, and thank you for your support, and thank you for, you know, thanks for speaking with me, I guess. Every time I see Ukrainian here, it really warms my heart. Thank you. So Kaltenberg, another birthday, right? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. This is embarrassing. Cannot sing. Happy birthday, dear Kaltenberg. Happy birthday to you. Wishing you great, many happy returns of the day. Wishing you good health, lots of money, lots of love. You know, lots of love and lots of good people around you. Happy birthday. And Nanny Eb, my grandson is born. This is celebration, not just in this community, but in the heaven, you know. This is fantastic news. Wow. All right, folks. Thank you so much for coming today. I invite everyone to join me to pray. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Again, thank you. You are the high of my day. You know, making the streams, conversing with you, and answering questions, and I feel alive. Thank you. Dear friends, please join me in praying and wishing other people good energy, good vibes, and, you know, good things. Dear Lord Jesus Christ, thank you so much for giving us this day. Thank you for putting food on our tables and roofs over our heads. Thank you for surrounding us with people who we love and who love us. Please help our children, keep them safe and healthy, and give us wisdom to keep the skies above our children's heads peaceful, and raise our children the way that when they grow up, they will become good people and make this world a better place. They will do a better job than we have done. They will never fight in any wars with each other. Thank you. Dear Lord, please stop the bloodshed in Ukraine as soon as possible. Reach out and touch the hearts and souls of people who can make decision to do that, so they wake up from lethargic sleep. They're terrified of what has happened, what they have done, and they make the decision to stop the bloodshed. Please help every single Ukrainian who has been affected by this terrible tragedy. Answer their prayers and make their wishes come true. Send angels to Ukrainians so the angels keep people from away from the harm's way. Please help my country. Send the army of your strongest angels with sharpest swords led by Saint Michael to get rid of the demons that have hijacked my country. Make the angels run it. Make the angels have bring Russia onto the light side, under the side of goodness. Please help everyone who is traveling, send them safe travels. Please help everyone who's seeking for asylum. Send good people and help their way. Please help all hungry, homeless, jobless, ones with depression, depressed, the ones with low self-esteem, who are not feeling well about their lives. Please shine your heavenly light on upon those people, and fill their hearts with love, so they feel good again about their lives. They stand up on their feet, and they will have another chance at happiness. Thank you. Please keep our skies above our heads peaceful, regardless who we are and where we are from. Thank you so very much for bringing us into this community. Thank you for allowing us to pray together. Please help everyone who is praying along with me right now, or just simply watching us pray. Answer every prayer and make every wish come true, please. I would like to ask for some people who need your help. They are Larry, Yelena, Natasha, Jake, Michael, Oля, Dasha, Sky, Bonnie, Svetlana, Karen, Janine, Michael Milkevitz, Marlene, Paul Bins, Richard, Mallory M., Dirk Misler, Lynn, Terry, Lars Henrik and Lars Henrik's mother, Richard Burris, and Angelica at Life, Scan's family grandson, Barb, Randolph, Nelly, Arkady, Yuri, and Mikolaev, Harry's family, Verlinda's niece, Ian James, Doug, King Nero, Gaby Hyman, Donald, Deborah, Lisa's son, Jade, Kaltenberg, Brittany S., Alice and Dave Moyers, Maureen M. and her sister, Bob, Matt, Umil Jennifer, Heidi, Ashley and family, Mr. Dean Spooner and his church called Our Savior Lutheran Church, Lisa Cumrian, Jacob, Adam Oliver, Amy, Treasure, Kyle's wife, Grace Philosophy, please send her recovery and shine your light upon her family and her granddaughters. Maggie, Vladislav, Sergey, Susie Mailer, Gina Wayfarer, EMS paramedic Liz, Lori Miles' husband, Sherry, Layla, Philip's mother, Thomas Fall, Margaret, Linda Trombley, RT, Per, Sarah Stokes, all single mothers struggling to make ends meet, Mario, who was recently shot, please send swift recovery, Rod, Sandra's husband, Greg, Jim and Shirley Hall, Delaney and her children, Ann Larson, her family, and daughter Hannah, Florentina, Mag's family, Patty L., Sherry Morin, CKOC, Brian Wilkes, Liz Dumbrell and her grandparents, Ripted, daughter of Aspen English, Matthias, Amir's uncle Dicky, Ruth, Paul, Susan, Rudy Kaisley, Darla, Bib, Alona and her boys, Santa's Whiskey, Paula McDonald, White Lightning, George Ruberty. Thank you for such good news from George, and help him with his health. Protect him with all your power and send him angels, please. Dave Strains, Pam, Wayne, Shirley, Debbie, Jen Allen, Finola, the Highwayman, Assie from the Scottish Isles, Outlander and family, David Porter, his family, and everyone in Chernovtsi, Ukraine, Choriz and family. Enjoy every minute, Lars, Susan, Marshall, Beulah, Boss Simon, Alvin's sister, Teresa D., Terry Carter, Joe and Lee McMahon, Meta Spencer, Deanna and her family, Bree's friend, Caroline, Albina Fell, Michael Yukon, Joel, Life, Karine Vasseur, Pamela J., Daniel 9, Lindsay. Also would like to ask for all children from Ukraine who have been affected by this terrible tragedy. Please send them, shine your light upon them and send them your love. Also asking for children of Russia who have been affected, and for all children who are not feeling well, please send them recovery, and specifically asking for Cadence, Maverick, Coulter, Sebastian, Theo, Madi, Ansley, and Karin Vasseur's niece. Please send them recovery and send strength to their families. Thank you so much, dear Lord Jesus Christ. Amen. Thank you, my friends. Thank you for a good stream. Thank you. I will see you tomorrow. Would like to make a small announcement. I will not speak of facts, numbers, figures tomorrow, but more of how I feel on a few things about Russia. I will ask questions, but they're gonna be mostly rhetoric questions, and we will know the answers. So please come back. That's gonna be more personal stream than tomorrow or than today or yesterday. Thank you so very much again. Thank you for coming. You're absolutely awesome and you rock. And before you go, I would like to ask everyone to say the usual along with me. Carthago delenda est.